Earnhardt, the two pace cars ahead. Irvin inside of Jeff Gordon on the second row. A Chevy, an Olds, a Chevy, a Ford, and a Pontiac, the front five. Getting set for the start of this race. They head up into turn number 4, bank 25 degrees. Here's the North Carolina Motor Speedway. Ernie adjusting the mirror. Get a good look at the tack and the gauges on his dash. Few stickers, including one for TNN. And you get a good view when we have the in-car out that rear view mirror and see what's coming up along the inside of Ernie Irvin. 3 laps, we're told, before we go racing to get things up to temperature. And Davey Allison in a Chevrolet, not the Ford he'll drive tomorrow, but in a V6-powered Chevy. Davey will be coming back from the 12th row, lined up there behind Jack Ingram. As they'll take a couple of laps here to bring things to temperature.
You know, it's interesting, Mike, that Davey is in a Chevrolet for this race. He started out with a Ford last year, or a couple years ago in Busch Grand National competition, and they weren't able to get the engine pieces, weren't able to get the good, strong engines to stay together, so Davey elected to go back to a GM product. Here he is starting in a 23rd position, and he's got a Ford up in the second row. Glenn Jarrett, what do you think about that?
Well, we're going to get a word with Jeff Hensley here right now. He's consulting with the NASCAR official. I talked to Jeff a little bit before they fired the engines, and there's a lot of concern about tire wear here. Jeff, a lot of concern about tire wear, particularly on this green racetrack. Give us your thoughts.
Well, yesterday afternoon, we were setting up pretty much for a slick racetrack because they had a lot of laps run on it, but it rained real hard last night, and we're back down to a real green surface. And yesterday we figured we could get about 70 laps out of a set. Today I look like we're going to be lucky if we get 40 is the way we're looking at it. So we're around not changing all 4 tires on an SFA Classic Pontiac when we do come in.
Well, I see a lot of tires over here, as many as 16 tires. So are you looking at having possibly to change tires as many as 4 times?
Well, we're looking at all 4 at least once. It's only a 200-mile race, and it don't leave you a lot of time to make up the laps you lose. But if it's really according to what everybody else does. It's kind of monkey see, monkey do. If one guy comes in and puts on all 4, then you just about got to do the same thing. So, we're really going to follow suit and see what happens.
Well, that's the strategy here from Chuck Van Stitt. Let's go back to Steve Evans.
I'm with the crew chief for Joe Nemechek III, the rookie of the year last year. And Dennis, you have to compete against some heavy dogs as you get the crossover from wing speak up. How do you guys combat that, and what's your plan with your drivers?
Well, we're just going to wait and see how the car's doing about 50, 60 laps into the race, and probably just follow the leader.
Did the Earnhardts, the Waltrip, intimidate your guy at all?
No, I don't think so. We like running with them.
Have fun.
Thank you.
1 lap to go as we'll look for a green flag start. There's Joe Nemechek's car carrying a 3-race sponsor that they're hoping to put together for the season. Brock?
Tony, I'm with Tony Urey, Mike, and what do you think about have you determined yet what kind of a fuel and tire stops you're going to make in this deal?
We ain't really decided what we're going to do. We don't know how long the tires are going to last. Usually we run this race on 4 tires, but I don't believe we can make it on 4 today.
We've been hearing some guys talking about coming in as early as 40 laps. Do you think you can go farther than that?
Well, it's really going to be according to what everybody else does. We're going to try to run about 60 or 70 laps probably. That sounds like the going number for us right now.
Okay, well, let's see how it works.
All right, anything happens.
Okay, Mike, there you heard it from Tony.
That's probably the best sum-up I've heard today. Anything can happen. Earnhardt won this race a year ago. 15 lead changes, the record 17 when Rob Moroso drove his Oldsmobile to victory here in 1989. There's the back in the 12th row with Davey Allison as the pace car peels off. It's gone, headed for pit road, and Dale Earnhardt, the man in black, will bring them down for a start with Jimmy Hensley, the Don Beverly car on the outside. Here they come. Green flag. Mike, the Winston Cup drivers had a practice session just before this race, so they know what the race session is. Like the Busch Grand National drivers were a little bit of a disadvantage because they weren't able to practice today. Earnhardt with Hensley hanging tough on the outside. Ernie Irvin right there. You could about put the Richmond County Saturday paper between those 2 cars up front as they come off 4 and down to complete lap 1. Hensley is not going to be intimidated. He really is. And I say he's a heck of a race car driver. And it didn't look like it hurt him much that he didn't have a practice session today.
he's going to find himself about 3/4 of a lap behind. So he desperately needs the caution flag fairly early to let him catch back up to the field.
Allison stays on the lead lap. Earnhardt the leader, the yellow car. Ernie Irvan, as we watch Harry Gant dispense with Jimmy Hensley. That moves Gant number 7 up to the 4th spot behind Kenny Wallace. A lot of smoke from Jack Ingram's car at turn 2. And Ingram drops down, running out of harm's way now. Caution will come out.
That's a heck of a break for Davey Allison, a tough break for Jack Ingram. This is his last time at Rockingham as a driver. He's going to make a farewell tour this year of about 16 races, and this is his last time here.
Ingram may have lost the engine looking at that puffing of smoke out the left side exhaust pipe. Car don't think it was running as it came by, and Ingram will coast along to the back pit area. He's been black flagged and will have to make a stop in the pit lane. Let's have another look and see, Phil, if he did indeed blow that engine.
There you see, Jack, the top of the screen there. You just start smoking going in the turn. That's what it looks like. It could possibly be an oil line that went bad or something like that, but it looks like it's coming out of the tailpipe. So I would definitely think that is a terminal problem.
Something internal. And with oil coming out the header pipes and onto those tires, Jack doing a good job of hanging on. And there's Bobby Labonte right behind him, a bit blinded from the smoke but slipping through on the inside. Have another look here and you'll see heavy traffic as Jack Ingram goes off into turn 1.
There you see the smoke starting right as he enters turn 1 there. He just kind of lets the car drift up and try to get out of the way of all the other traffic. Let's go down to Glenn Jarrett with a report from the pits.
All right, we're standing in Davey Allison's pits alongside his crew chief, Red Farmer. Davey was brought into the pit for a black flag consultation. Red, what happened?
Well, on the start, the cars in front of him kind of stalled, and Davey was on the gas wide open, and he had to go to the right to keep him running in the back of him because he was already under full power. So he didn't pass the car, but he did get alongside of him, so they gave us a stop and go.
Well, he was very fortunate that the caution flag came out and enabled him to catch back up. The thing about it is he was trying to avoid an altercation. He got penalized for it. Steve Evans?
Well, Glenn, I have a question. A lot of the crew chief engine builders tell me that Rockingham is notoriously hard on the big V8 engines we'll be seeing Sunday in the Winston Cup event. Does that translate to these V6s as well? Hard on engines because of the way the track is banked. It takes a lot of torque to get the car out of the turn. What do you think, Phil Parsons?
I think you're exactly right. It's very tough racetrack on engines here because of the immense acceleration off the turns.
So we're under caution, the first of the day. Jack Ingram, the first car behind the wall. He started all 17 Grand National Series races here. Just finished second in the spring of '84. He duplicated that with a run in 1986. And you see the two pace cars, one leading the field and one at turn 4 peels off to take the cars pitting down pit road at reduced speed, and no one has taken that opportunity under this caution. So it's Earnhardt, Irvan, and Wallace. Harry Gant up to 4th, and Jimmy Hensley, the outside pole sitter, settling in 5th position. With 5 of those 197 laps completed here at the Rock. Looks like Ingram has pulled that car toward the hauler. So it will be a short ending to perhaps his last day at the Rock as a driver, but Ingram has said he may be back next year as a car owner with somebody a little younger in the car.
I think he will, Mike. He said I've read an article that Jack said he just doesn't feel like he can do the things that somebody in their 20s or 30s can do, so he's going to step out and let somebody else have a try at it.
Pace car with the field all collected, and the NASCAR safety officials have had a look down in turns 1 and 2 to make sure that smoke coming out the tailpipes was not indicative of fluid on the racetrack, and they're getting a 1-to-go sign. There'll be a down finger restart. It will be single file. That's the indication, with no cars yet being lapped.
You notice, Mike, that the safety lights on top of the pace car went out when he got to the start-finish line. That's the signal to the field that they're going to go green flag the next time around. When the lights go out on the safety car, flagman gives 1 to go, then they're going green the next time. If for some reason they decide to change that and stay under caution, then the lights will start flashing again on the pace car. A lot of people don't know that, but that's the signal to the drivers.
Watching the field down the back straightaway. Light indeed off on top of the Pontiac safety car. Earnhardt in a Chevrolet. Up front, Ernie Irvan Chevrolet in second. And we'll ride along with Ernie Irvan as they come down to this restart, and the field springs out behind them up there in the 25-degree banking of turn 3. on the board. They're coming around a complete lap 8, and we'll go back to green. Now, Earnhardt is the master of restarts. See if he can get away from Ernie Irvan, or if Ernie will be right with him. There goes Earnhardt. You heard him come to speed, and Ernie loses 2 to 3 car lengths on the race. Right back at him, though, in turn 1. Dale right down against the stripe, setting the door on Irvan. Kenny Wallace holds third, Harry Gant fourth, Jimmy Hensley fifth, and Dale Jarrett is sixth. Say, Mike, the reason that Dale Earnhardt is so good on the restarts is because he never does the same thing twice. Irvan a bit high up off of turn 4, and Kenny Wallace closes up. Tom Peck will get a stop-and-go penalty for jumping the restart as Bobby Hillen's car brings out the caution. Hillen with a big trail of smoke down the front straightaway. Now that's 2 engines in 4 laps. Is that weather related?
I think it very well could be, Mike. You know, the thing is, these guys did not get a practice session today. The weather is quite a bit different than it was yesterday, so they did not get a chance to look at the spark plug, read them, see if the car was a little bit too lean, had a little bit too much ignition timing. So I think that could be very well be why we're having two caution flags and 2 blown engines so early.
So engines going off like popcorn here at the North Carolina Motor Speedway, and just as we get started, we are under the second caution flag of the day. Earnhardt continues to lead. Ernie Irvan in second. Hillen goes to the garage. Kenny Wallace is third. Harry Gant is fourth. And Jimmy Hensley fifth. More from the North Carolina Motor Speedway at Rockingham after these messages.
Dale Earnhardt moves to the inside. Now he's diving into the pit. Let's go down to Bob.
Earnhardt's pulling in the pit. I'm going to try to get a word with him. Dale, why are you stopping at the GM dealership?
Fast or free guarantee.
Fast or free?
Yep, my GM dealer does a complete GM oil change and lube in 29 minutes or less, or the next one's free.
Whoops, gotta go. And Earnhardt's back in record time.
Your GM dealer's serious about putting service back in the service department, so try Mr. Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus for a change.
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place. All my dreams Miller No 5.
The Goodwrench 200, North Carolina Motor Speedway. Mike Joy with Phil Parsons, topside Steve Evans, Brock Yates, and Glenn Jarrett. Down along pit road where we're under the second caution of the afternoon and about to go back to green. First one for Jack Ingram's engine, this one for Bobby Hillen. And Bobby Labonte will be a man to watch in the 44 car as he moves up. He started 27th, and Bobby's up to 14th position, having a good run so far. Looking for green, and it's out. And again, Earnhardt gets a good strong jump, and here comes Kenny Wallace on the outside of the yellow car, Ernie Irvan. Back under green for the 3rd time today. And Earnhardt just hauls away. Bit of smoke out of the Tommy Ellis car on that restart. Looks like he got hit in the back. Maybe Tommy didn't quite go when the green flag came out. Somebody hit him in the back. Did some pretty substantial damage. He's going to have to stop him and beat the fender off the tire. The field was pretty bunched on the restart. And drivers trying to avoid the penalty for jumping. And the result is a bit of damage on the right rear of the yellow car. He is on pit road and will lose a lap here as Dale Earnhardt brings the field off turn 4. Earnhardt extending the advantage to 3 car lengths. Ellis, the repair is completed, goes back on the racetrack. 1 lap down. 12.5 seconds for Tommy Ellis, a quick pit stop, but nonetheless, he lost a lap in the process. You're in Ernie Irvan's car as he tracks down Dale Earnhardt, and his mirror is about to fill up with Kenny Wallace. Back to turn 1. Glenn Jarrett.
Mike was standing by with 5-time national champion Jack Ingram. Jack's on his farewell tour this year for the Busch Grand National Circuit. Had a short day today. That's what happened. Jay, I understand this is your last appearance here at Rockingham. You won't be back in the fall.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Jack Ingram. And now we also have another early retiree, Bobby Hillen. Bobby had a little early trouble there also. Seems like things are happening real fast here on the backstretch bit. What happened to your car?
I just, the motor blew up. I think it was a rod. Went right outside the block. So just one of those deals.
It's got to be disappointing to fall out this early, but I know you're real excited about the new developments concerning your Winston Cup career.
Well, I'm really looking forward to bouncing the race. I've got a really good team, and we're just really looking forward to it.
I hope you have better luck tomorrow in the race.
Trouble continues for Tommy Ellis. He's back on pit road as Dale Earnhardt enjoys this 3-car length advantage on Ernie Irvin. Kenny Wallace in third, Harry Gaddis fourth, Jimmy Hensley fifth. They have pulled off, and there's the damage to the Ellis car. They'll work on the left rear. They had the right rear last time in, and Tommy, former Busch Series champion, now goes 2 laps down. Back up front with the front 5. Good long gap back from Jimmy Hensley. I'll tell you, Mike, that's Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett is moving his way past him in the 5th position now. In the blue car, he's on the inside right now, trying to get by Kenny Wallace. It does make the pass. Glenn Jarrett said at the start of the show he'd take the 2 Dales and give up the field. I'm glad my money's in my pocket right now. That is Dale Jarrett. He's up to 4th. Jimmy Hensley is that 6th place car. Now, Ernie Irvin sawing at the wheel a bit there down in the corner. I'll tell you, we've run about 20 laps now, and it's, the racetrack's starting to get a little bit slick. I'm sure the cars have slowed down probably 3/4 of a second from where they started. Front 5, single file. And one driver moving up well is Bobby Labonte in 44. He has come from deep in the field on the start and is now up to the top 10. Labonte, the 1 car just ahead, Jeff Gordon. And Bobby Labonte is there. He's moving up fast. Joe Nemechek in the white car, 87. Brock Yates.
Mike, I'm with Tony Page, Tommy Ellis, the crew chief, and that restart really bent the rear end of the car up. Did it hurt the rear suspension?
Well, the restart did. The green ball ran into the back end of our car there. Had a super day going. We're 1 lap down now, maybe 2. We got a fast race car. Hopefully we get back up there and make it up and have a good day.
Is the chassis all right, or just the bodywork bent up? Is the chassis bent up, or just the bodywork?
Should be fine. Just a little tire rub.
Okay, there you go. Okay, Mike, there you have it.
And the car that ran into Tommy Ellis struck down does show some front-end sheet metal damage to upset the aerodynamics on that automobile. Watching Bobby Labonte in 10th. He started in 27th position. The red 44 car moving right up now on Jeff Gordon and Joe Nemechek. Nemechek in a Chevrolet, Gordon in a Thunderbird, and Bobby Labonte driving an Oldsmobile. And Nemechek holding them up just a little bit.
It looks like it. It looks like he's holding it. Now we see Jeff Gordon has got underneath Nemechek. So if he can get by him, whoa! He cut the car a little bit, got a man across the apron, and got out of shape there. So, a little bit of inexperience, but I tell you, when this guy gets more experience under his belt, he's going to get some.
Nemechek is 8th. Jeff Gordon in the number 1 car, driven by Mark Martin previously in this series, is 9th. Bobby Labonte is in the 10th spot. As they work through turns 3 and 4. 8th place at stake here. You see Bobby Labonte ducked down underneath Jeff Gordon. Back with the leaders now, Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvin, Harry Gant in the green car, and Dale Jarrett, who's moved up to 4th position. Earnhardt has led every lap from the pole. There's Kenny Wallace. Running in 5th spot, Jimmy Hensley behind. Here's the 1-2 combination. Earnhardt and Irvin.
Irvin told us before the race, Mike, that he wanted to have to use the camera and turn it around and look out his back when he see Earnhardt. He needs to get by him so we can do that.
26th lap of 197 here at the North Carolina Motor Speedway. And the battle for 9th rejoined here. Jeff Gordon high, Bobby Labonte trying to snooker him down low, and Todd Bodine in the 34 cars come up to join that battle. Jeff Burton is right behind them. So a big stack up here for 8th on back. Gordon in the number 1, the Ford. Labonte's Oldsmobile.
I tell you, Mike, we talk about Jeff Gordon. I think this is the first time Todd Bodine has ever raced here. Jeff Gordon was here last year, sat on the outside pole. This is the first time Todd Bodine has ever raced.
Back up front, you see the blue car top of your screen. That's Dale Jarrett, and he is reeling in Earnhardt, Irvin, and Gant. First through 4th place. There's Bobby Labonte once again. He's made the pass on Jeff Gordon. Moves up to 9th. Todd Bodine, the 34 car 11th. Joe Nemechek in 87. He is 8th. Glenn?
Okay, I'm in Bobby Labonte's pit, standing by with his crew chief as well as his father, Bob Labonte. Bob, he is really on the move. What's the story here early on?
Well, you know, we didn't time real good, but we got the car real good yesterday afternoon, and we figured at the start here it's going to bide its time for a little while, but it's running so good, it's just going for it.
You got to like what you see early on. So you got to like what you see early on.
Yeah, really do.
Bobby Labonte up to 8th. Here you see the 9th on back. Nemechek in 87 is 9th. Todd Bodine is going to take that spot away. Jeff Gordon running right there. And Jeff Burton. 30 laps complete. We'll be back to the North Carolina Motor Speedway right after these messages.
No matter what you drive or where you drive, when you need shocks, you never have to wait for a sale. At AutoZone, Duralast gas shocks are just $10.94 every day. If you've been waiting for a sale on brakes, just remember this. At AutoZone, our Duralast brakes are just $10.99 every day, so you never have to wait for a sale.
2, 3. Davey Allison believes. Mario and Michael Andretti believe. Don Prudhomme believes. You get out of a car what you put into it.
Tonight, Music City's Michael Johnson and Beth Nielsen Chapman team up on the American Music Shop. Then on the Texas Connection, it's Chris McKay, the American Music Shop, and the Texas Connection. Tonight, starting at 10 Eastern on TNN, the Nashville Network.
Dale Earnhardt and Ernie Irvin out in front of the Goodwrench 200. Harry Gant has now moved up into the 2nd position just 1 lap ago. Gant in the number 7 car sets sail on Earnhardt. Irvin drops to 3rd. Dale Jarrett pulls down to the 4th spot. Kenny Wallace is in 5th position. Now Ernie Irvin working lap traffic along with the 2 leaders dead ahead.
You see how the cars have already moved up the racetrack, Mike. We're only 35 laps into this thing. They've already moved up about 3 lanes.
There's your front 5. The only Busch Series regular among them, Kenny Wallace, who had such a great run last Saturday at Richmond, Virginia, dueling Dale Earnhardt in the closing lap. Gant having a look on the outside of Earnhardt now as you watch from Ernie Irvin's car. And Irvin's about to have his hands full with Dale Jarrett.
Hey, Harry Gant looks awfully strong right now, Mike. He started back in 7th position. He's already up to 2nd. It looks like he's giving Earnhardt all he wants.
Harry Gant finished 2nd here in 1982 and won in 88 and 89. Battle for 3rd on the low side. Dale Jarrett in the blue car. In yellow, Ernie Irvin up high. And Irvin looks helpless to hold off the advances of Jarrett.
Irvin appears to have lost the handle a little bit. He's going a lot higher in the turns than the rest of the cars. He's starting to smoke a little bit. And it's just a matter of moments, I think, before Dale can go ahead and get on by him.
Dale Jarrett started 9th. He's battling Irvin for 3rd. From over the shoulder of Ernie Irvin. And you'll see Dale Jarrett's car come into view on the left. Irvin off the throttle, you hear. Right back in it. Dale Jarrett running right in his blind spot and trails him in the backstretch. Jarrett's season got off to a horrible start at Daytona, got caught up in one of those big multi-car melees, and took his car home in a basket. Say, Mike, watch the difference in the grooves they take in the turn. You see how high Irvin goes? It looks like Dale, all they have to do is go around a short way, but if the track gets slick on the bottom, that's why they're going up top to get some fresh racetrack. Let's go down to Brock Yates in the pits.
Bill, I'm with John Irvin, Dale Jarrett's crew chief, and he's running like a freight train, John.
Yes, the Nestor Front Pitco car is running real good right now. We're just a tick tight, but with nothing we can't take care of when we make a tire change. We'll go out and pit somewhere about halfway, and hopefully go the rest of the way.
Did you expect them to come to the front like this?
Yes, because we had a good practice yesterday afternoon.
All right, there, you heard it. So, Glenn, Brother Dale's doing just fine.
Yeah, he's just a tick tight. How much is a tick, Phil? For Dale, it's about 200 to the second a lap. Okay. Dale Earnhardt in the number 3 Chevrolet. Harry Gant right with him. In number 7, trying to come up, Kenny Wallace battling with Ernie Irvin. 1 and 2. And top of your screen, 3 and 4. Irvin and Dale Jarrett. Morgan Shepherd moving up now to the top 5. Kenny Wallace. 97 car, and Tommy Labonte also moving toward the front. 42 laps complete. Out of 197. Bit of smoke continuing from Ernie Irvin's car. Yeah, that doesn't look over. You think it might be tire smoke, but it looks like it's more substantial than tire smoke. I don't know what that might be. Maybe a valve cover leak or something like that. Jeff Gordon on pit road. So too Davey Johnson. The left side tires Gordon. And Johnson stopped for at least gas, and they're going under the hood on his car. You're riding with third place Ernie Irvin. Behind Dale Earnhardt and Harry Gant. I talked earlier, it looked like Irvin had lost the handle, but he's hanging right in there with him, Mike. So he's run a little bit higher than they are, but he seems to be keeping the difference about the same. That's third place. Fourth, all by himself now. Dale Jarrett has dropped back a bit. Bobby Labonte and Morgan Shepherd. There they are, battling for 5th spot. Kevin's right with him. Kenny Wallace in the 36 car. Just out of view to the right. Morgan Shepherd in 97. In 6th position. And they were side by side a lap ago. Back up front with Earnhardt and Harry Gant. Ernie Irvin is on pit road. Sign going out. Uh-oh. There's Tony Glover going under the hood. And let's go to Brock.
Well, Mike, we're down here with Ernie Irvin's crew. As you can see, they're poking around inside the engine. There's clearly an oil leak. They're working on, they're trying to find, they cannot see what's going on here. The crew chief in there, they're looking at the left side of the engine. Irvin just cut the engine off, so there's obviously some serious problem. This is, of course, a disaster for Ernie in a short, relatively sprint-style race like this. So the crew's continuing to poke around in there. We can't get in close enough to find out what they're doing, but there's surely some serious stuff. Ernie has lifted his goggles off his head and off the helmet and looks pretty resolved. So we got some troubles here, Mike.
I'll tell you, you can on the underside of the hood of Ernie Irvin's car, you can see the black. That was oil all over. That was all over the hood. So it was definitely more than likely a valve cover, a front seal, something like that. Back with the leaders for now. Again, Dalton Earnhardt. A couple of feet off Dale's rear bumper. Bobby Labonte up to 4th now. He started back in 27th. What a run he's had today. Gant looking for the lead this time. That's the wide car. That black car, that's the 3 is a wide car. Harry Gant has got the horsepower and the bite off the corner. He'll give Dale a run down the back straightaway. 48 laps complete. We may see the first lead change of the day here. Caution is out. Racing back to the flag, and Gant will lead them back to caution. So Harry Gant becomes the second leader of the day.
There may be some debris on the racetrack somewhere, but there's nothing obvious right now as to why the caution is out.
Pace cars will pick up the field. Elmo Langley down in turn 1. And with the caution out, we'll take this break from the North Carolina Motor Speedway. The Goodwrench 200 on TNN. We'll be right back.
Monday on Nashville Now.
Play me some mountain music. Everybody, like Grandma and Grandpa used to play.
It's Alabama night, 9 p.m. Eastern on TNN.
Grass clippings. We produce over 10 million bags a year just mowing our lawns. We spend hours raking and struggling with awkward bagging mowers. But the real environmental problem is disposal. Now there's a single-step solution. The breakthrough mulching mower by Troy-Bilt. No bagging, no raking, no cleanup or disposal, period. The secret is a blade and deck design that cuts and recuts clippings until they practically disappear. Even fall leaves vanish in a single pass, returning a gold mine of free fertilizer to your lawn. The result, a beautiful, healthy lawn without clippings or chemicals, all in a single, easy step.
For complete details on the single-step solution by Troy-Bilt, including our whole lineup of Troy-Bilt mulching mowers, call toll-free 1-800-638-9898. That's 1-800-638-9898. Call today.
TNN Motorsports presentation of the Goodwrench 200 is brought to you by Haviland Motor Oil. Get the most out of your car.
Okay, Mike, I'm with Ernie Irvin, who just fell out. Ernie, we saw some smoke out of the race car for a couple of laps, and then it got worse and worse and worse, and finally in. Did Ivan Baldwin figure out what it was?
No, it just got the motor so oily that we couldn't tell where the oil was coming from. So, you know, we could go back out and keep trying to find it, but, you know, we don't race for points. We're here to do good for our sponsor. We can't do good being here in the pits.
Well, you had a good run in it for a while. You got right up on Dale and ran with him pretty good for the first laps, and then was the oiling starting to affect the performance of the race car before you stopped?
Yeah, I think it was leaking a little bit on the rear tires, but we once we started moving up into the high groove, this Maxwell's terminal truck, and you know Chevrolet started running awful good. But you know you got to finish the race before you can win it.
You got it. Well, we'll see you later. Good luck. Okay, Steve.
I'm with Chris Carrier in the Harry Gant pits. You've got to be delighted the way that man is running, but what's he doing to those tires as hard as he's charging?
Well, so far so good. The tires are falling off at a pretty steady rate, about what we expected. But I tell you, the Goodyear Radial is a state-of-the-art tire. There's no doubt about it. We're pretty happy right now. We're a little bit tight off the corner. We're going to make a little change whenever we pit. I don't exactly know right now when that'll be, but maybe we'll be a little bit better after that.
You know, even though you told your driver possibly, hey, Harry, take care of those tires. When he starts racing with Dale Earnhardt, all that goes out the window.
Well, you know, Harry's raced long enough. We let him go at his own pace. He's raced with Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, and Bobby Labonte and those guys before. He knows about how hard to run the car, and he's run the radials enough. He knows what he's doing. We don't have to guide him too awful much.
How soon will we see that green car on pit road?
Well, I'd like to say that we could go to halfway.
Everybody would like to say that.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to say that, but right now I kind of doubt it. We're just going to watch the stopwatches. When he starts to fall off real quick, he'll know it. When the radial has a characteristic about it, when it goes, period. And when that happens, he'll holler at us, and we'll be in here changing tires. We're not going to take any chances.
Okay, thank you, Chris. We got to go back up to Mike Joyce.
Because we've got to go back to green flag racing. The caution was for debris in turn number 2. Morgan Shepherd, Dave Rezendes, Butch Miller pitted for fuel. So did Davey Johnson. Chuck Bound made a pit stop to repair damage to the nose of his car that he got on the last restart against the back of the Tommy Ellis machine. Back under green, Elton Sawyer caught on the outside of first Gant and now Dale Earnhardt as they take the restart. Elton in the 27 car, his wife Patty Marie driving 42, still under a maiden name, but the first husband and wife combination in a NASCAR race in history. Davey Allison in 28 coming up fast through the pack, running riding right up on the back of Jeff Burton now, so Allison has blasted back up into the top 10 after suffering that stop-and-go penalty for jumping the initial start of the race. Joe Bessie, the 9 car, caught on the outside as the field blasts on by. And look at the advantage Harry Gant has opened up.
Hey, that was just a matter of Dale Earnhardt having a race side-by-side with Elton Sawyer for just a matter of a lap or a lap and a half, and that gave Harry Gant that advantage.
Earnhardt number 3 is second. There's Dale Jarrett, the third place car. Tommy Ellis 2 laps down. And then Bobby Labonte. Behind Labonte is Kenny Wallace, and right back of Wallace is this man, Davey Allison. Allison now 6th. After a green flag stop and go. Jeff Burton in 99 right with him.
Hey, Davey Allison told us at the top of the show that his car was fast in yesterday's practice, and obviously he was telling the truth.
And he said in pre-race, had no problems about being able to get to the front. Now Kenny Wallace in 36 having a tough time, lapping past Tommy Ellis in 56, and here comes Davey. Harry Gant's lead now up to a second and a half as we watch this battle for 5th place. Kenny Wallace giving Ellis a 2-car on the road. And Davey Allison was showing us that high lane is just not quite as quick.
Not right now. I think it eventually will be. He's got a good battle to the right of your screen at the second position.
There it is. Dale Jarrett coming up. In the blue car, 32.
Look who's right on his bumper. Right on his bumper. Bobby Labonte.
Let's go to Brock.
Well, Mike, I'm with Tony Uri, who looks concerned. Is Dale looks like he's getting out of the up in the high groove. Has he got some problems?
Yeah, the car's getting a little loose. We got to stop getting right side tires.
Okay, there you heard it. Tony says they're coming in. Tires are starting to go right on him, Mike.
So Earnhardt dropping a bit. Bobby Labonte moves up on the leaderboard to 4th. His best career finish at this racetrack. The spring race last year, where Bobby finished in 4th place. Glenn?
While Dale Earnhardt is slipping back to the field, another guy that's really marching onto the front is Davey Allison. Has overcome that early penalty he had to take. Red, what's going on out there?
Well, Davey said the car was working real good. We had to go all the way back to the 38th spot. And 50 out, and he's coming back down to the 6th place. So the car is working good. A little bit tight to the penalty. We're not going to make any chances. Now he's 6th place. And we come from 38th to 5th. We're real happy. Davey said the car is working great.
Okay, that's the story from Davey Allison. Still a man on the move.
From 38th to 5th. This car of Davey Allison. Who passed Kenny Wallace a lap ago, putting Wallace back to the 6th position. And Allison starts to track down Dale Earnhardt. It's a little funny to see those colors of that man in the Chevrolet.
It sure does.
Here's Harry Gant up front all alone. Dale Jarrett now owns the 2nd spot. Bobby Labonte is 3rd. Gant is by himself going into turn number 3. Perhaps 2 seconds ahead of this duo. Dale Jarrett in 32. And Bobby Labonte in 44, the 2nd and 3rd place car. They have a like margin. Back to 4th place, Earnhardt. Bobby's coming hard. He's not letting Dale Jarrett get away.
Oh, he really is. I tell you, as far back as Bobby Labonte started, he really has a good race car. If he can just take his time, try not to abuse the car, then I think he'll have some form towards the end of the race.
Bobby Labonte. Right up the tailpipe of Dale Jarrett. This duo, 2.25 seconds behind leader Harry Gant. Out of turn 2. Look at the rear spoilers on these cars, Phil. They're just about vertical. They're probably holding back as much air as they are pushing down.
Well, they really are. You know, the thing, you see the cars at Daytona with the spoilers at 25 or 30 degrees. And that's so the cars will go fast. Here, you want them to handle well. You want them to go fast at the turn so that you'll see the spoilers sit straight up. A good side-by-saddle between Davey Allison and Dale Earnhardt for 4th position.
And Earnhardt has to give it up. So Davey Allison moves up into 4th. Coming all the way from 38th, tail end of the field after that stop-and-go penalty on the first lap. 65 complete out of 197 they'll run today. Chuck Bound, the Busch Grand National champion, has taken his car behind the wall. 22 cars running on the lead lap. And for fifth, Kenny Wallace is underneath Dale Earnhardt. A replay of their Richmond battle 1 week ago. That time it was in the closing laps for second place.
I'll tell you, it's obvious that Dale Earnhardt's tires have gone away. So there's no way that Dale can make it halfway. He'll be a half a lap behind if he tries to make it to halfway. So I think you'll see him going into pits before too much longer.
Now the question is, how long can he stay out and keep backing up without giving up too much track position? As all of these drivers with the new NASCAR pitting rules will be making their tire stops under the green flag. Now, Kenny has got to be loving this. He got out of that car at Richmond last weekend, went over to Dale's truck, and he was just bubbling with enthusiasm at having raced alongside the number 3 car for all those laps right to the finish. Raced each other hard and clean.
Well, they really did. He's not going to be real happy right now. He wants to get by Dale Earnhardt and go on and try to catch Bobby Labonte and Davey Allison.
67 laps completed at the North Carolina Motor Speedway as this battle continues for fifth position between Earnhardt and Kenny Wallace. More great Busch Grand National action from the Rock coming your way right after these messages.
Davey Allison believes. Mario and Michael Andretti believe. Don Prudhomme believes. You get out of a car what you put into it.
Genuine draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
This is where America gets together. Every weekend throughout America, there is great NASCAR racing.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Harry Gant's lead is diminishing. It's down to about a second and a half now over Dale Jarrett. Bobby Labonte in third. Davey Allison and Kenny Wallace has just given up the fifth spot, battling along with Dale Earnhardt for fifth and sixth position. 72 laps now on the board. There's Harry Gant alone out front, but they are reeling him in. Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte. Very tight battle there behind the race leader. That's for second spot. And Jeff Burton has come up to be a player up against the top 5. Bobby might have laid a bumper on Dale just there. Looks like he got awfully close there. Bobby really would like to get by Dale. Looks like Darrell Waltrip's car. Let's find out from Glenn Jarrett.
Well, we are indeed standing here with Darrell Waltrip, that familiar face on BGN. Darrell, this is one place we didn't expect you to see this early in the race. What happened?
Something broke in the motor. I think it either broke a rod or broke a piston. The car was just really starting to come in. The track was a little bit green. The car was pushing too much. It was just starting to kind of neutral up. I thought we were going to have a good run, but then the motor broke.
How could you tell about the tire wear this early on? What kind of tire wear was your car getting, and what conditions the track in other than coming to you now?
No rubber down right now, and the track's a little tight. But looking at the tires, they look like they'd run all day right now.
Okay, that's the story from Darrell Waltrip. Back to Mike Joy.
Davey Allison sitting at lap 75, and this is more than just a routine stop. Robert Yates on the radio. That's not Robert, but they're on the radio to David and going backward.
Looks like, again, something happened to the engine on Davey's car. They opened the hood. They weren't in any hurry and kind of looked it over and said, let's push it behind the wall. So
the weather has changed a lot. It was warm and wet, very damp and humid this morning. It's turned a good deal cooler, and I wonder if that's having quite an effect on these engines.
I think it probably will. Here we again have a race for second between Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte. They haven't really lost much ground to Harry again. You would think battling like this they would lose ground, but they've kept the same interval about a half a straightaway. Harry Gant may have used up a lot of tires coming to the front and getting past Dale Earnhardt. Bobby Labonte tries it again. He got a good run at him now coming off turn 4, Mike. He does have him passed, but he can just stay in front of him when he gets to the turn. So the new second-place car, Bobby Labonte's Oldsmobile. Dale Jarrett's Pontiac back to third. Harry Gant on the point in a Buick. Buick, Olds, Pontiac, Chevrolet. Earnhardt in fourth. Ward Burton tips the Charlie Henderson car, and this may be the first of scheduled stops. Let's put right side tires on his car as we watch Bobby Labonte trying to run down Harry Gant. Say Bobby Labonte was so happy to get to Richmond last week and put the week at Daytona behind him. He lost his primary car in a Friday afternoon practice crash, jumped in his brother Terry's car, who had qualified for the car at 12th position, and was in that big first lap crash and destroyed that car. He was so glad to get to Richmond and just to get a race under his belt and bring a car home in one piece. Jeff Burton in 99, bringing Jeff Gordon with him. Two of the younger drivers on the tour coming toward the front. And just ahead, Kenny Wallace. They're going to go give Earnhardt some fits here. I think Earnhardt was probably out of school before any of these three guys were born. You're probably right. I tell you, I think Jeff Gordon is one lap down. He made an unscheduled pit stop between, I think, the second and third caution flag. So I think he's one lap down. But the rest of these cars are battling for position. Dale Earnhardt fourth, Kenny Wallace fifth, and Jeff Burton in the 99 car sixth. Burton in the car vacated by Tommy Ellis after he took the Tapke and Johnson car to a championship. Elton Sawyer getting a lap down to Earnhardt. Here's Steve Evans.
Guys is prepared for a pit stop, but we don't see any panic out there. They've got the tires out, the fuel out. Apparently, they're watching the competition. As long as they're not sawing away consistently on Harry Cleveland, they're keeping out there. You heard Chris Carrier, his Richie say earlier, they still have that fantasy, some say, of nursing it to the halfway point and running this on one pit stop. The cool weather might help that. They're ready, but we don't see any signs of Harry as of yet.
And Steve, they may do it. We're at 81 laps, 82 right now on the board. Another 17 laps would be halfway and give Harry Gant that tire mileage. You know, I thought there was no way Dale Earnhardt could make it to halfway with the way his car was falling back. He still has lost a lot of ground to Harry Gant, but he is staying out there. He's staying away from Kenny Wallace. Let's go down to Brock Yates.
Mike, I just talked to Tony Urey, and he said they're going to hang on for a while. They know the car is real loose, but he says we're going to try to go 100 laps. So they're just being real patient. As you can see, there's no panic here, but obviously Dale is working real hard right now with a very loose race car.
Kentucky and David Green just made his pit stop. Boy, he sat on the pole for the Goodies 300 at Daytona. Didn't qualify at Richmond. Tommy Houston moving along well here, and he has come from deep in the field. Houston up now battling for the 9th position. Has had quite a run here today. Started this race well back.
Started back in 26th position.
That's the number 6 car. Houston in a Buick.
Ed Berrier in the 5 car started in 37th position.
So obviously a number of these drivers having trouble in qualifying, but they've got the right race day setup. Robert Presley is right with them in the 59 car, the Dan Welch Oldsmobile.
That's the blue car, the 96 car, just behind the Robert Presley car. You know, he survived one of those stop-and-go penalties. Looks like Tommy Houston's slowing to make his pit stop.
Scott Houston and the crew ready to go for Tommy as he'll pit on the front straightaway.
It'll be interesting to see whether he goes for 2 or 4 tires, Mike.
The NASCAR official, you see him on the right of the screen and see where the front spoiler of Houston's car is. That's what the official's pointing at. He's got the watch out, and Houston may spend a little time here in the penalty box. We'll see.
That's supposed to be a 15-second penalty. If any part of your car goes over the white line that is the end of your pit, it's supposed to be a 15-second penalty. But they'll wait until the pit work is done and then impose the penalty. So we'll see how long the penalty. If we keep the clock going, we'll see exactly how long the penalty is.
Little trouble with the left side there. Scott Houston finishing it up. Now they wait. That's the big difference between a Winston Cup crew and a Busch Grand National crew. Tommy Houston has one of the better Busch Grand National crews, Mike, and it took them 40 seconds to change 4 tires. A Winston Cup crew will do it normally in about 22 seconds. Cost him 2 laps for Houston, 2 laps down. Harry Gant, the leader, trying to ride it out to halfway. 88 laps complete, 11 to the halfway mark. Bobby Labonte is catching him. Labonte at 44. Running down the race leader, but Harry controls the action right now. With Labonte closing in, here's Glenn.
Once again, we're standing by with Bob Labonte. Bobby's running awfully strong. How much longer can you go before you're going to have to come in and change tires?
Well, you know, we're kind of new at this game right here, so I think we're going to do whatever Gant does. We can't let him get away from us, so whatever he bids, we'll try to pit at the same time.
Okay, you heard that. He's going to wait until the leader pits, and they're going to try it. Let's go back to Steve Evans.
Well, still, Glenn, I don't see any sign of any frustration or any confusion or any panic among Harry Gant's crew. They're out there just watching the guy run around, not apparently too worried about Bobby Labonte. You have to wonder, when is that pit stop going to come? And it's like that. Maybe they will make it to the halfway point.
I tell you, Steve, you know, Bob Labonte said they're going to do what the leader does. Well, they're leading the race, so they're the ones that have to decide. I'll do whatever I do, right? Okay. 90 laps complete. Tom Peck makes his pit stop. Bobby Labonte up front. And dealing with lap traffic. Davey Johnson on the outside of Clifford Allison in the 23 car. On the inside. Now, then Harry Gant has lost the lead. What will he do? Back straightaway. Gant working lap tires, and here comes Tommy Houston up behind him, and Houston's going like a rocket on those fresh tires. Bobby Labonte stepping it out now with a 5-car length lead. Gant in the blue car right behind Harry Gant's green machine is Tommy Houston. And Houston is trying to get one of what we're now told is 3 laps back from the race leader. Houston underneath Harry Gant. Lap car, Tracy Leslie. Holds off Houston. And Bobby Labonte scoots away a bit. Let's see if Harry Gant tucks down for pit road. Not this time. 93 laps. Go on the board. Labonte the leader. Gant in second. Dale Jarrett third. Dale Earnhardt in fourth. Fifth is Kenny Wallace. Houston now past Gant. But still in second spot, I wouldn't think Bill he's in any jeopardy. No, he can see the leader, Mike. That's the key. He can see Bobby Labonte, who's, you know, just what, 10 furlongs in it. But here he comes. He ducks left, coming in the pit. Here's Steve.
Harry Gant is coming in on, I believe, lap number 93 or 94, very close to the halfway point. Let's make sure he doesn't cross that front line and incur the 15-second penalty as Tommy Ellis did. No, Harry Gant positions that car perfectly. Fuel going in, right side tires. This will be, I believe, a 4-tire change. Let's see. Yes, it will be. All 4 tires. Harry Gant in the pit. A beautiful stuff. We've got a watch on him. We'll try to get you a good time on it once the car moves. It's not just the time you've been in the pit. It's the time you've been slowing down and getting out. It can also be critical to when he stops. Harry Gant out of the pit in 29 seconds. Thank you, gentlemen.
Dale Earnhardt's crew, led by Tony Uri, set to go to work. Rock Yates's there.
Dale Earnhardt in the pits. The crew chief going to work. The crew is making a little bit of an adjustment on the right rear corner of the race car, probably trying to tighten it down just a little bit. He is going to take outside tires. Here they come around. Going to take the left side as well. More fresh tests going on here. The fuel can almost complete here. A little bobble here, but yeah, there's a little bit of a bobble, Phil Parsons. This crew, of course, one of the very best in the business, but it's done now. So we got a little bit of a blocking up front with and he's out underway, and we've got a 35-second pit stop.
Here's the leader, Bobby Labonte, getting that second can of fuel. Steve Grissom has made his pit stop, and he's gone. I tell you, Brock, that was not the same pit crew that we'll see for Dale Earnhardt's Sunday's race. That's the Busch Grand National crew, so that is not indicative of how his pit crew will be tomorrow. Labonte getting finished up. Jeff Burton is on pit road. 4 for Bobby Labonte. And he goes back into action. They'll put 4 tires on Jeff Burton's car. Here's Dale Jarrett. Pontiac coming down pit road.
Dale was our race leader with the fact that all the rest of the leaders that pitted, Dale was our race leader.
And right now, everybody that's pitted is holding their breath that there is no caution flag, because each one of these cars is going 2 laps down to the leader making green flag pit stop. Burton has finished in a way. John Irvin led crew for Dale Jarrett finishing up here with left side tires. Patty Maurice coming in.
Say, Bobby Labonte, Mike, had such a poor qualifying effort that he was pitted on the backstretch. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out on the racetrack in relation to the other leaders, but he was pitted on the backstretch.
It leaves this man, Morgan Shepherd, as the race leader as he takes the halfway sign on the racetrack. Shepherd had already been in once for fuel, but has not stopped under green. Jimmy Hensley makes a stop as Dale Jarrett pulls away, and we're told that you were a good guy. Here's Steve.
I am with a pair of Harry Gant tires and Todd Carpenter of Goodyear. You're the expert. How do they look?
They're wearing very well. I mean, fresh tires are picking up speed. They're working great.
How many more laps could he have gone, do you think? How many more laps were left on?
The tires are about half worn out. When performance goes down to a certain point.
Thank you, John. And I'm sure Harry Gant wouldn't mind seeing some yellows a little later on in this bit where he could nurse those tires to the wire. Mike?
Jimmy Hensley coming off pit road. The Don Beverly car getting 4 tires. Everybody stopping under green, and it's not a monkey see, monkey do situation, but when one guy comes in for fresh tires, the rest of the cars can't afford to stay out there and get further behind.
That's exactly right, Mike. The car comes in and gets fresh tires. As you watch Kenny Wallace, the 36 car, just drive by Morgan Shepherd, you know, car can stop you. You'll be a second slower than the car that has 4 fresh tires. So if you stay out there 5 more laps, then you lose 5 seconds on the racetrack.
Let's run down the leaders for you as Shepherd gets passed by Dale Earnhardt. He's also on fresh rubber. Morgan Shepherd up front. Harry Gant is second. Dave Rezendes has not stopped. He's the third-place car of the Massachusetts driver. Bobby Labonte, fourth after his pit stop, and Kenny Wallace is fifth. 102 laps complete at the North Carolina Motor Speedway. We'll be right back. Sooner than we thought. Morgan Shepherd out in front. Tommy Houston is the car just ahead of him. Shepherd now getting passed again, but Houston went right on by him with those 4 much fresher tires. As they roll off into turn number 3. And Shepherd now, question of how long he'll stay out. Tommy Houston started this green flag pit stop run. Once he got 4 fresh ones, everybody else started coming in. Shepherd goes past. Elton Sawyer right behind him. Sawyer in 27, one of 7 cars in this race on Hoosier tires. Balance of the field on Goodyear. Battle for 5th here. See how Kenny Wallace in 36 and Dale Earnhardt fare now that they're both on fresh rubber. Earnhardt trying to close in. On the younger of the Wallace brothers, there are 3, not just 2. You know, Mike, the reason Morgan Shepherd can stay out so long is he made one of the an early caution flag pit stop just for fuel. So we don't know about his tires, but he can stay out maybe for another 30 or 40 laps on fuel if he so desires. Shepherd with Harry Gant well back. His lead now cut to 6.8 seconds. Harry cut 4 seconds of lead in 3 laps. And here's Shepherd on pit road. Morgan's Thunderbird stops for service. At least right side tires, and they have 2 more rolled up there. Looks like to me like they're only going to go for 2 tires. No, but now he's getting the left front tire ready. You see the man standing at the front of the car getting the left front tire ready. Definitely going to be a 4 tire change. Let's go to Brock Yates.
Steve, I'm with Steve Bird, who's the crew chief on Kenny Wallace's number 36. You made the stop. Any changes other than that?
No, Kenny said the gas is pretty good. I think we'll be down a little power. The way the new pit rules out, we just got to try to be a little lucky again. So we're looking pretty good.
Is it going to get? It's going to get loose later on in the race, I would imagine. So you don't want to stop again.
No, I don't think we'll get loose. We worked real hard on that yesterday. If anything, it'll start pushing. We're going to stay pretty good.
Go get him. Okay. Yeah, Mike, back to you.
If Steve Bird tells you that, you can take it to the bank. He is the Busch Grand National equivalent of Jake Elder. He's probably the finest crew chief on this pit road. He sure is, Mike. I tell you, he took Robbie Moroso to all his Busch Grand National success. He got with Steve Grissom last year. Steve ended up winning four races. We're looking at your leader, Harry, again. I tell you, Harry's got a pretty substantial lead right now. His pit stop must have been that much better than everybody else's. He's almost a half a lap ahead. Harry Gant took over the lead when Morgan Shepherd came on to pit road for fuel and 4 tires. Shepherd completing service in 27 seconds. Dale Earnhardt running in 4th. Moving up with Kenny Wallace right behind in 5th. They move up on the Tracy Leslie car. Already a lap down. We had Dave Resendez in 2nd because he had made a caution flag pit stop. He is now in the pits making his green flag pit stop. He was the 2nd place car, so he'll drop back. That'll bring Bobby Labonte back up to 2nd, Earnhardt to 3rd, and Finney Walsh to 4th. There's Resendez coming off pit road. One of 12 cars that came into this race without sponsorship. Kind of hard to believe with all of these races on television and radio this year and the great following that Busch Grand National Series racing has. There's probably some bargains to be had down there on pit road. 112 of 197 laps completed the North Carolina Motor Speedway. We'll be right back after we pause for these messages.
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Are you still living with this nightmare? Over 1 million motorists have said never again. They've switched to Triple Edge, the world's first high-tech windshield wiper. It clears, it cleans, it wipes dry, all in a single pass. And Triple Edge wipers won't tear, dry rot, or freeze to your windshield. They're made from DuPont Nordell, used in radial tires, so strong that if they ever fail, we'll replace them free. Triple Edge gives you visibility through the heaviest downpour. It whisks away snow and ice. Even mud is no match for Triple Edge. They're only $19.95 a pair. Custom fit to install in seconds. No noise, no streaking, no smearing, no tearing. They're the last windshield wipers you'll ever buy.
Call toll-free 1-800-842-4444 or send $19.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling to Triple Edge Wipers, care of TV offer, Box 10030, Stamford, Connecticut. Please include your car's make, model, and year for correct sizing.
The caution flag is out for the 4th time today. One of the cars losing a header pipe up in turn number 3. The yellow is back out. Harry Gant, the race leader. Bobby Labonte in 2nd. Dale Earnhardt has fought back up into the 3rd position. In 4th now, Kenny Wallace. Running 5th, Dale Jarrett. David Green and Todd Bodine shown up there. Joe Nemechek has just gone a lap down. Tom Peck and Jeff Burton as we're up at the 4th caution of the day. The pit road relatively empty, as most everybody's made their pit stops under green. You're looking at the back pit lane. A couple of stops there for gas up to the caution flag. As you look at Bobby Labonte, the 2nd place car. The North Carolina Motor Speedway is one of the more venerable tracks on the NASCAR circuit. Brock Yates took a look for us at the history of this 1-mile super speedway.
This is the way the racetrack looked in 1965
when the legendary Curtis Turner won the first race here. But a lot has changed since then, including the banking. The racetrack was redone several years later, and the banking was increased to 25 degrees here in turns 3 and 4, 22 degrees down in turns 1 and 2. But more importantly, the actual length of the racetrack changed. NASCAR measures its track length 15 feet from the outside rail, and therefore the racetrack measures at 1.017 miles, 89 3/4 feet longer than a classic 1-mile track. Therefore, today's race is going to be run at 197 laps instead of the classic 200. Now, when Curtis and the guys were running in the old days with a flatter racetrack, they ran way up against the outer rail. But now, with the higher banking, the quick way around here, and believe me, it's quick, is down here about 2 lanes from the inside. So the line and the speed have changed considerably here at Rockingham over the years.
You'll hear people occasionally call Busch Grand National Racing the AAA ball of stock car racing, and that's fairly accurate, except I don't know any minor league baseball team that could fill a stadium this size. Just about a capacity crowd for these cars, and they're not running for minor money. Consider that last year Chuck Down, the series champion, won over $300,000. There's a number of teams out there you may not be all that familiar with that show a tiny profit at the end of the year. It's AAA ball, but like a lot of baseball players, some of them are here to stay. Mike Joyce?
Well, the big difference, Steve, is none of those AAA ball players had to face Roger Clemens' fastball the way these Busch Series drivers have to race against Dale Earnhardt. Great racing here at the Rock. 117 laps complete. Harry Gant at the front. Bobby Labonte second. Earnhardt, Wallace, Jarrett, front 5. Right behind them, and on the lead lap, Todd Bodine and David Green. Then Joe Nemechek is a lap down. Tom Peck and Jeff Burton in the 10th spot. Jimmy Hensley's 11th. Steve Grissom back in 12th behind Hensley there. And further back, Ward Burton and Morgan Shepherd. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
We're standing by Dale Jarrett's pit stop. Dale got a little behind on that green flag caution, or green flag pit stop. John Irvin, what happened?
Well, 1 minute, Glenn. Getting ready to start the race. Go, go, go. You allowed 6 people to cross the wall, and they said in the driver's meeting if a foot or leg was crossed, that was the 7th man. So one of the guys who don't clean the windshield, he decided he wanted to put a foot across the hell the Nestle Pontiac, Simcoe Pontiac 15-second stop. So we'll take care of that right now.
Well, fortunately, he caught that caution flag, and that enabled him to make up that distance. I like a man who keeps his mind on his work. Let's go back upstairs.
Bobby Labonte and Dale Earnhardt battle for second place. Harry Gant, the race leader, back straightaway. Like what John Irvin, what he stopped Glenn Jarrett for, so he could tell Dale when the green flag was out so he could go. He has to call that signal from the flag stand because the driver up in turn 3 can't see the flag when the green comes out. There's Dale Jarrett, who's dropping off the bottom of the screen. Todd Bodine in the Frank Cece car, 34. Having a great run here. He stayed on the lead lap, and he's in the top 8. The youngest of the 3 Bodine brothers in his first really full season of Busch Series racing. Tommy Ellis tries to run him hard into turn 3. Todd getting a good run up there on the top of the racetrack. They're all chasing Harry Gant, the Bandit. Say, Harry Gant did not want to see this caution flag, Mike, because he had almost a half a lap lead on Bobby Labonte, who was running second. With the Ford. And that skirmish continues back with Tommy Ellis and Todd Bodine unable to lap past him. We're back with the leaders, and Bobby Labonte wants to change. Say, Bobby Labonte's car is awfully good here. He lost all that distance on his pit stop. We talked about a half a lap, but he wants to see if he can get by Harry and see if maybe he can drive off with him. He's done it. Bobby Labonte is the new leader. 4 different drivers make that 5. 6 have led this race. Labonte and Gant. 3rd is Earnhardt. 4th, Dale Jarrett. Kenny Wallace right in there. Splitting Earnhardt and Jarrett now. Wallace is 4th. Very tightly bunched front 5. It really is. Very, very competitive race. The green flag pit stop spread the field out, but then we got a caution flag and going right back together. And now we'll see if Bobby Labonte can drive off like Harry Gant did earlier. halfway in the Goodwrench 200. Sunday, the Goodwrench 500 here at the North Carolina Motor Speedway, and you'll see that live on BGN. Here's Steve Evans.
I'm in Harry Gann's pit. As we saw, he was just passed by Bobby Labonte. Chris, any surprise on Harry's part there? The Labonte came around him?
Well, we're not exactly perfect right now. We picked up a little push right at the end of that last set of tires, and starting to push out a little bit here in green forward. He's trying to save him right now a little bit, but I tell you, Bobby's a tough little cat. We found that out last year at Darlington. He really had his feet last April at Darlington, and our pit strategy just happened to work out just a little bit better. He's tough. He's got a good race car. His dad, all the guys down there in that crew do a good job. Can't take nothing away from him. He just passed behind him.
Well, it sounds to me like that maybe Terry Labonte just went out horsepower and out-handled Harry Gann.
Labonte in front. Make that Bobby Labonte. Harry Gann in second, and here are the pack of wolves that are chasing Gann. From first back to fifth is only 1.5 seconds. Earnhardt, the 3 car, is third. Maybe not for long. Here comes Kenny Wallace. Kind of reminiscent of last week between Dale Earnhardt and Kenny Wallace. It looks like Kenny's got him this time and is bringing Dale Jarrett with him. 2 drivers who most everyone along pit road thought would win a race in 1990 were Kenny Wallace and Bobby Labonte. And today, one of those 2 may see that happen. Rock Yates?
Well, Mike, we just watched Kenny Wallace and Dale Jarrett slide underneath Dale Earnhardt. And Tony, you got to be concerned. Is Dale just sitting back there for a while and saving tires, or did he let those guys by, or is he trying as hard as he can?
Just tighten the car up, put more tires on it, tighten it up. The car's just a little tight right now. We're hoping it'll loosen up when the tires get warm.
Okay, still optimism here in the Earnhardt pit. Back to you, Mike.
John Nemechek on pit road for a stop for left side tire. 129 laps on the board. Bobby Labonte, Harry Gann, Kenny Wallace, Dale Jarrett, and Dale Earnhardt. Also David Green and Todd Bodine on the lead lap. Nemechek was on the lead lap. Made this pit stop. He'll go at least 2, perhaps 3 laps down. 21-second stop for Nemechek's crew. Bobby Labonte takes it down to 1, extending his lead over Harry Gann. Here's Glenn.
Again, we're in Bobby Labonte's pits, and you're looking at the young lady keeping lap times for Bobby Labonte. We stood here watching since they changed those 4 tires a while ago and the green flag stopped. His lap times have been very, very, very consistent. He lost some ground on that exhaustion change in the third, fourth, and fifth place car. However, he was able to pull up on Harry Gann's rear bumper. When they went back to green flag racing, he wasted no time in driving right by. Gann's car's a little tight. Bobby Labonte's is not. It's handling perfectly right now, and the stopwatch shows just how consistent he is.
Credit Steve Bird for that adjustment on the Kenny Wallace car and on the Bobby Labonte car. They made the right choice too on tires to put both those cars right up toward the front of the field. But look at Harry Gann lead the young Lions behind him, and getting by him will not be easy. They pass Clifford Allison, who's been black flagged. This fight is for second place. Gann at 7. Wallace, middle of your screen, in 36. Dale Jarrett in 32.
Tell you, Harry Gann has not shown the dominance right at this stage of the race that he had earlier. Bobby Labonte appears to be the dominant car. We'll have to see if as the race wears on, when the tires get that much hotter and that much more worn, if Harry Gann can bring it back up to the front.
One thing Gann is a master at, and that is knowing how much of his car is left and how much to use at a given time. We'll see if he reels back in Bobby Labonte. If Bobby trying to sprint away uses up too much of his resources. Harry Gann, car number 7, running second. And right with him, young Kenny Wallace and Dale Jarrett, becoming somewhat of a grizzled veteran himself. He's no kid when you think of 19-year-olds like Jeff Gordon out there now. There's hardly anybody in this field that's a kid when you think in terms of 19-year-old Jeff Gordon. What were you doing at 19?
Going to college up in Michigan.
And not behind the wheel of a race car.
I didn't start till I was about 21.
Harry Gann has been racing the first auto race was in Evanston, Illinois in 1895. Harry Gant might have been there. Let's go to Brock.
Mike, I'm with Steve Bird again when Kenny Wallace has been. Davey's showing a lot of strength now.
Well, yeah, he's just a guy that's still real good and everything. I just try to keep help conserve them guys. We still got about 60 more laps to go. He's playing it cool. He's learning quick, and he's following my advice.
You just want to sit right there for a while?
We're going to try to here until about 20, 30 laps to go here, as long as Bobby don't get going too fast. Hopefully things will work out. You know, we're just going to do the best we can to talk lumber and build a genuine draft and over one.
Good job. Okay, Steve. There you have it, Mike. Back to you.
Harry Gant racing for second place against Kenny Wallace. Dale Jarrett right with them. Second, third, and fourth. There's your leader, Bobby Labonte. 137 laps. As Steve Grissom heads for pit road on the backside. 60 laps to go. Gant around Bobby Dotter. And we'll be back to the North Carolina Motor Speedway on more of the Goodwrench 200 right after these messages.
So you claim you were getting your oil changed at your GM dealership. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And how long did this take?
An hour, hour and a half.
Really? And isn't it true that the GM dealership in question is a Mr. Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus dealer? And isn't it also true that they guarantee a complete GM oil change, lube, and 10-point maintenance check in 29 minutes, or the next one is free?
Your GM dealer is serious about putting service back in the service department, so try Mr. Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus for a change.
2, 3.
Davey Allison believes. Mario and Michael Andretti believe. Don Prudhomme believes. You get out of a car what you put into it.
A third-generation Petty makes history at the Rock in 90. Can he repeat his $1 million day, or will the Intimidator turn Dominator and capture the win? Who'll take the checkered flag? Find out when TNN cameras roll live at the Rock.
Watch the Goodwrench 500 live tomorrow on TNN.
The Goodwrench 500 live tomorrow, noon Eastern only on TNN.
TNN Motorsports presentation of the Goodwrench 200 is brought to you by the more than 550 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the right parts and the right price. 140 laps complete. We're back under yellow for the 5th time today. It happened up in turn 2. Jeff Gordon was the principal car involved.
You see Jeff there sideways, and somebody in the white car doing a heck of a job.
I think that was Steve Grissom. Check that, Joe Nemechek.
Joe Nemechek, and then Ward Burton on the high side got stopped. But, no damage, and Jeff ought to be able to get back in, and I don't know if he'll normally he would want to get in and get 4 fresh tires, but now that it's a penalty, he may elect to stay out. You know that it's probably flat spotted somewhat, so it'll be interesting to see if he stays out and elects not to change tires.
Let's have a look at the leaders as we're under caution for the 5th time today. Up front, Bobby Labonte. Harry Gant is second. Kenny Wallace in third. Dale Jarrett in fourth. Dale Earnhardt is the 5th place car. A young driver who's been doing a great job is Todd Bodine. He is 6th, and he's on the lead lap. Then Morgan Shepherd, Robert Presley, Jimmy Hensley, and Jeff Burton. Joe Nemechek falling out of the top 10 after pit stop. And so, too, the number 8 car dropping down off that leaderboard. A pit stop that came just before the caution flag came out. 141, and we'll go back to green next time by. Steve?
You know, NASCAR has some very intelligent rules that govern this Busch Grand National Series, and one of them Brock alluded to earlier in his definition piece, and that is the very small 390 CFM carburetor. It allows the engine to produce about 450 horsepower. Put a bigger 4-barrel carburetor on it, closer to 500 horsepower, more engine breakage, which increases the cost of racing. Quite frankly, even though Rockingham is always tough on engines, I'm quite surprised to see as many of them blow up today as they have. Usually all they'll wear out is valve springs. We place those and go to the next race.
We gave you back to Jeff Burton in the 10th spot. Tom Peck is 11th. Tommy Houston 12th. And Dave Resendiz 13th. Then 2 laps down, Ed Ferree is 14th. Bobby Daughter back in the 15th position. Ed Barrier showing 16th. Then Tracy Leslie, Joe Nemechek, and David Green. Green flag, 142 laps. Morgan Shepherd up on the outside trying to get himself back on the lead lap. Car number 97 is the 7th place car. Ed Ferree goes around. Might have had a little help. See if he gets restarted there without the yellow flag. Waiting for Ferree, and he will get away. We'll stay under green. Tough break.
Sure was. Ed Ferree had a heck of a starting position. Good qualifying run in 8th, but as you say, Mike, it looked like he might have had a little bit of help getting turned around.
He was the 14th place car. He'll drop back to 19th, still 2 laps down. Up front, Bobby Labonte and Harry Gant, who stay under green. Morgan Shepherd does not get his lap back. Dale Jarrett looking underneath Shepherd in turn 3. Harry Gant head hunting for the lead there as he is off 4.
Harry's car's a little bit better now. He let his tires cool off a little bit during a 2-3 lap launch. His car's a little bit better. Time will tell us as we go on in 3 or 4 more laps, if Bobby Labonte can start stretching it again, then we're just like we were prior to that cross.
And Dale Jarrett, the 3rd place car, has that black machine of Morgan Shepherd a lap down, separating him from the 2 leader. And Shepherd is bringing that forward, looking for his lap back once again.
Hey, Morgan Shepherd, when the caution came out last time, almost got his lap back. Bobby Labonte, the leader, slowed the field down. Morgan Shepherd was probably straight away behind, came wide open, and just lacked about 2 car lengths to start most like getting his lap back. So I think Morgan's got a pretty good car. If he can get by Bobby Labonte and catch another caution flag, he may be a contender in this race.
Ed Ferree is fitted for tires after that spin. Dale Jarrett is right there, the 3rd place car, the blue car, right side of your screen. Kenny Wallace, just coming into view, is 4th. And Shepherd is going after the leader. Morgan Shepherd in 7th. 1 lap down. Trying to get past Bobby Labonte here and then hope for a caution.
Morgan Shepherd right now is in a position that he cannot conserve his car tonight. Because if he doesn't get back in the lead lap, obviously he doesn't have a chance to win the race. So he's doing all he can do right now to get back in the lead lap. When he does that, then he can think about conserving his tires.
Now, we've talked about the husband and wife duo on the racetrack, Helton and Patty Sawyer. But there are other husband and wife teams. At the top of the show, Dale Earnhardt told us that his wife, Teresa, owns his car. And that black 97 is owned by Sonia Shepherd, Morgan's wife. As Morgan takes the lap back from Bobby Labonte and gets himself back on the lead lap. Would you want to drive for your wife?
I do, as a matter of fact, Mike. I have my own Busch car. Actually, my wife, Marcia, has a Busch car, and she's going to let me drive it. Probably the next race will be Darlington.
Did she tell you how to drive it?
Oh, well, yes. She does that on the highway, on the racetrack. Oh, yeah.
Well, Shepherd is now on the lead lap in 7th place, and a big surprise back at 5th, where young Todd Bodine has passed Dale Earnhardt. So that moves Bodine up onto the leaderboard. Hoping to follow his 2 older brothers into Winston Cup racing.
You know, Todd had a good race last year at Dover. Qualified in the top 5 and in the Busch Grand National Division. Finished 3rd right on Harry Gant and Rick Mast bumper. So Todd Bodine can get around a mile racetrack.
There's Dale Jarrett tracking Harry Gant still. Have they kind of settled into a running order?
I think probably so. I think I think Harry right now is, again, trying to conserve his tires. I don't think he wants to try to abuse his tires because we've got almost 50 laps to go. Morgan Shepherd, as we mentioned earlier, has no choice but to go as hard as he can go, hope he can catch a caution flag, and get back around and see what he can do with these guys.
There's your leader, and you see the interval, the red car, Bobby Labonte. And it's about 10 car lengths. Back to Harry Gant in the number 7. Dale Jarrett and Kenny Wallace. The 4th place car, Todd Bodine. He is 5th, and he has a big knot of traffic to deal with. To come up and make a challenge on the lead track. He's dispensed with that traffic, rather, as Dale Jarrett goes underneath Harry Gant.
So much for everybody standing on a standing pad.
They haven't settled.
Now we see Kenny Wallace in the black car getting underneath Harry Gant.
Dale Jarrett in 32, who says he owes his crew a win here. last year right at that spot, turn 1. With a lap or so to go, he cut down on Jamie Obey and spun with victory in sight. Race back for 10th spot, Tom Peck getting passed by the 99 of Jeff Burton. Tommy Houston in the 6th car is there as well. And the 5 car right with them is Ed Barrier. He is another lap down. But Jeff Burton moves up a notch, and so does Tommy Houston. 44 laps to go. Now Kenny Wallace moving on Harry Gant. Brock Yates.
Mike, I'm with John Irvin, Dale Jarrett's crew chief, and he's just running real good. Can you run this kind of a pace right to the end of it, John?
Yeah, we made an adjustment when we changed tires, and took a little wedge out of it. He said it feels pretty good. He's trying to just pace himself right now toward the end of we're able to make the tires. And that's the Ditko Pontiac doing a pretty good job.
You got a little bit more left in it then?
I think so. We're just trying to hold on and not use the tires, because the tires just seem to be a problem of wearing out pretty good today.
Okay, good. So, Dale Jarrett set to make a run for the finish. Back to you, Mike.
42 laps to go. Here's the North Carolina Motor Speedway. They're all chasing Bobby Labonte, who is chasing that first victory. We'll have more from The Rock right after these messages.
No matter what you drive or where you drive, when you need shocks, you never have to wait for a sale. At AutoZone, Duralast gas shocks are just $10.94 every day. If you've been waiting for a sale on brakes, just remember this. At AutoZone, our Duralast brakes are just $10.99 every day, so you never have to wait for a sale.
2, 3.
Davey Allison believes. Mario and Michael Andretti believe. Don Prudhomme believes. You get out of a car what you put into it.
This is where America gets together. Every weekend throughout America, there is great NASCAR racing.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Inside of 40 laps to go here at Rockingham. Bobby Labonte up front. Dale Jarrett now the second place car. Kenny Wallace has moved past Harry Gant for third, and Todd Bodine up to fifth, having a great run today, perhaps the best race of his short career. Dale Earnhardt in sixth. Morgan Shepherd back on the lead lap. Jimmy Hensley a lap down in eighth. Robert Presley and Jeff Burton round out the top 10. Burton ahead of Tommy Houston and Tom Peck. Among the cars, just one lap down. There's Todd Bodine in the Frank Cece car, number 34, previously driven by Jimmy Spencer. And Bodine has done just a tremendous job keeping that car on the lead lap and in the chase today. Brock Yates.
Mike, I'm with Clyde McLaurin, who's the crew chief on Todd Bodine's car, and you are running real good right now. You got to feel good about the young man. What's he telling you?
Yeah, he said the car's feeling pretty good. It's a little bit tight right now, and his brother Jeff's on the other radio helping him out and just telling him to hang in there. And we're real happy that he's up front. He's only a rookie, and he's doing well with an unspotted car.
I'll tell you what, Phil Parsons said a little bit earlier that he really knows how to run a mile racetrack.
He's surprising me out there. He's doing one heck of a job.
Okay, good work. So everybody happy down here in the Bodine pit, Mike?
Well, Clyde McLeod is from Kensington, Connecticut. He was the crew chief for Mike McLaughlin's national championship run in the modified series, and previously was crew chief for Todd's older brother, Brett Bodine. He just joined the team this year, and they're doing quite a job, as evident. Here's Jeff Gordon trying to get a lap back off of Bodine, and we're back up front with the leader, Bobby Labonte. What did you think, Phil Parsons, as you were en route to your first Busch Series win?
Well, I tell you,
it came as a shock, really. It was at Bristol, Tennessee, and it was about, I don't know, 10 or 15 laps to go in the race, and I followed David Pearson for quite a while. And I was doing my best just to say, well, I'm going to finish second here to David Pearson. I was pretty happy about that. All of a sudden, he ran through a little something, slipped a little bit, and I was able to get by him. So it was kind of over before it ever happened. He didn't have much time to think about it, like Bobby Labonte is thinking right now.
Oh, I sure did.
Here's Steve.
I have a question for Phil Parsons. Phil, some of these teams complaining at this point about the car being a little tight. Is there a chance that the track and the tires will come to the car? In other words, if the tires wear a little bit, the car will loosen up and actually handle better? Is that possible?
It's possible, Steve, but I'll tell you, there's only about 30 laps to go, and more than likely, if the car has a tendency now to want to push, it'll probably push worse as we go. I once heard a famous race broadcaster describe the last 10 laps or 20 laps of a race such as Bobby Labonte is running right now by saying that the driver is hearing every noise in the car and every little sound and everything, just hoping something doesn't break and so forth. And I'm thinking, you don't say that. You're saying, don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up. Bobby Labonte is not screwing up. He's leading this race and moving away from the field. We'll watch him when we come back.
Barbara Mandrell and Johnny Cash host a special 2-hour encore event. TNN's All-Star Salute to Country Music with a special tribute to Ralph Emery.
Thursday, 9 Eastern on TNN.
Hey, Porter, if you were to plan the ultimate country music weekend getaway, what would it be?
Well, Keith, I'd just get the Opryland USA Weekender.
Come on, Porter, that's too easy.
Well, you bet it's easy and cheap, too. For only $38.95, you get a whole weekend of entertainment.
Well, that's a good deal. After all, the package includes a performance of the world-famous Grand Ole Opry, where each week you'll see 20 to 25 bright stars from among the 60-plus Opry members.
That's right, plus a General Jackson showboat cruise with a meal and a country music variety show featuring Shotgun Red.
All right. You also see a Grand Ole Opry sightseeing tour of Music City.
And you'll join the studio audience for a live taping of Nashville Now.
Sounds like the perfect country music weekend, Porter.
And what a value at just $38.95. Now, you're paying 20% less than if you purchased each attraction separately.
Well, how do you order, Porter?
Just call 615-889-3060. Ask for the Opryland USA Weekender.
At the North Carolina Motor Speedway, we're closing in on an average speed record for this race. It's 116.0 miles per hour. Sam R. In 1984, average speed so far, 115.5. Bobby Labonte, car 44. Out in front of the field, Dale Jarrett running in second. Third is Kenny Wallace. And they are tied tightly together in a battle for second spot. Back at fourth spot, Harry Gann, and fifth, Todd Bodine. This is first to second. And there's Kenny Wallace working under Patty Moise. Laps up. 26 laps to go. Can Bobby Labonte prevail?
Hey, the wonderful thing about this kind of race, Mike, is anything can happen. I mean, we could have debris on the racetrack. We could have hopefully nothing happens in the cars, but we could have a caution flag, tighten the field up. Anything can happen in this business. That's what makes it unpredictable.
Bobby Labonte, the leader, takes it off into turn one. Another time. Battle shaping up back behind him. Second and third rather close. There's Kenny Wallace, 36, the third place car. And here is Dale Earnhardt chasing down Todd Bodine. Bodine is in fifth. Earnhardt has said it's time to run. Todd holds him off.
You can count Dale Earnhardt out. You can think his car is loose, his car is pushing, he's drifting back, and all of a sudden there you see him. Here he goes back by Todd Bodine for fifth position.
Fifth place changes hands. A Chevy and a Buick. Battling there. Now young Todd Bodine will go to school on Dale Earnhardt. Lap pass Bobby Dotter. Dotter moves up and just about into Bodine.
Hey, Todd Bodine will learn an awful lot following Dale Earnhardt. He'll learn a lot running in front of Dale Earnhardt. you'll learn a lot following the Olympics.
Caution is out. Spin in the back straightaway. Ed Faree going around. Two other cars involved. Faree is the orange and white machine. The 75 Ward Burton is the blue car.
This will allow Morgan Shepherd to get back on the lead lap, so we'll have another contender in this race. Looks like Butch Miller. Looks like the 52 car of Butch Miller on the inside.
Let's have another look at it. 3 cars involved. This debacle off turn 2.
Looks like the 75, the blue car, 75 car Ward Burton gets sideways first. And the other car, there's Butch Miller in the outside. Well, that was Morgan Shepherd, I believe, wasn't it? Just getting by to get his lap back. And Butch Miller had nowhere to go. Hits the inside wall pretty hard.
And here comes Ed Faree, and he's got a swerve to miss Ward Burton. And spins in the process. Couldn't gather it back in. Poor Shepherd dodged the bullet.
He was very lucky, but he did get into the wall, so he may have some damage to that car. He got back in the lead lap, but the car may be damaged, so we'll have to see.
Under caution, 6th time today. 175 laps complete. Shepherd's getting a black flag from NASCAR, we're told. Here's Steve.
All right, guys, I'm with Bobby Labonte's dad, Bob Sr. You got to be one proud papa right now.
I didn't hear you.
You got to be a proud father right now, the way that boy's running.
Oh, yeah. Well, I knew he could do it all the time.
He may win the race. He should have won last year, as everyone thought he would.
Well, you know, we didn't really need this flag right. We didn't really need this flag right here, and they run a little bit better on the restarts than we do. We run better when our tires get hot, so it's, one of them deals.
Okay, best of luck to you, Mike.
2 rounds of wedge in the Dale Earnhardt car. And fuel and perhaps a bit of an adjustment on Todd Bodine. And they'll go back out just the way they were running. Those were the last 2 cars on the lead lap. So they give up nothing by making this stop under caution.
I'll tell you, it's really a good move. If they can make a bit of a chassis adjustment, put a little fuel in just to make sure they have enough to go the distance, they may be a little bit better shape than they were prior to the caution flag, and they may have something for the top 4 cars.
Morgan Shepherd is on pit road as the ambulance has been called out to Butch Miller's car. And they're looking under the left side of Shepherd's machine. Conference with the officials, and they send Morgan back out. Ward Burton also in the pits. And we'll update you on Butch Miller just as soon as we can. But the car will go off on the hook. Miller, again, one of the 7 cars that were on Hoosiers today, led by Elton Sawyer in the qualifying. 20 laps to go. Here's Glenn.
Okay, we were on the backstretch with Bob Labonte before Steve did the interview with him, and they were looking at me kind of like I was from the enemy camp because my brother Dale was running second and kind of closing on him. Then he widened the gap a little bit, stretched the lead out a little bit, and they treated me a lot more friendly. I asked Bob Labonte if they felt that everything was okay. He said everything's A-okay right now. Times, were very, very consistent, and they felt like that everything was going the way they wanted it to. Again, they didn't want to see this caution flag, but they feel like they've got the car to win the race right now.
Well, we'll change your name to Ayrton Senna or something, and then nobody will speak to you. We're under caution. 20, make it 19 laps to go this time by. At the North Carolina Motor Speedway, Morgan Shepherd is in for a look again under the left side of that car. Work continues on Ward Burton's machine. Bobby Labonte, the leader. Dale Jarrett in second. And Harry Gant will stay on the racetrack, but we're told on the in-car radio that Gant may have dropped a cylinder, and when you only have 6 to start with, that can be devastating to your chances. The last 20 laps when we come back to the North Carolina Motor Speedway as TNN live coverage continues.
Davey Allison believes. Mario and Michael Andretti believe. Don Prudhomme believes. You get out of a car what you put into it.
Cold filtered, Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Wednesday.
I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. From my front porch you can see the sea.
Tom George Strait. Join us for a special hour of music from Tucson, Arizona.
What's going on in your world?
George Strait live from Tucson, Wednesday, 8 and 11 Eastern on TNN.
18 laps to go, and we'll be back under the green flag in one lap. Let's reset the field for you. Bobby Labonte in the 44, Dale Jarrett, Kenny Wallace, and that's 2 Busch Grand National regulars among the top 3. Then Dale Earnhardt. Great day for Todd Bodine on the 6th spot. Morgan Shepherd in 7th is on the lead lap. Then Robert Presley, Jeff Burton, and Ed Berrier. And Berrier's been showing up 2 laps back. He is now up just 1 lap down. He got 1 back as well. So getting set to go back under green. Jeff Burton is the 99, and he will try to get his lap back for Bobby Labonte when they drop the flag. Pace car is long gone. It's already on pit road. As Labonte and Jarrett in the 32. Kenny Wallace in that black green numeral number 36. And here again. We'll try to run this one to conclusion. Dale Earnhardt is there and Todd Bodine. On the inside to the right of your screen are the cars on the lead lap. As we talk, Mike, anything can happen in this business. So we'll see if Harry Gant or Dale Jarrett has cooled his tires enough to make a run at Bobby Labonte. Here comes Earnhardt way on the outside. Earnhardt trying to go around the lap cars on the right side of your screen. He's got Harry Gant. And Todd Bodine jumped up into 3rd spot. Earnhardt wants to try him on the inside and wisely gets out. That's Todd Bodine in a white car in 4th position. Kenny Wallace in a black car just ahead of him in 3rd. 16 laps to go. Bobby Labonte with a great restart. Dale Jarrett 4 car lengths back, and then this snarling pack of cars for 3rd place on back. That was Jeff Bodine up in the spotter's position calling the restart to his younger brother. Now Earnhardt in the 3 car ahead of Harry Gant. But a ways to go to chase down Bodine. Sawyer well up high, and Earnhardt moves fast. Caution is out. Morgan Shepherd rolls to pit road. There's debris in turn 2. Something off one of the race cars up on the racetrack as Shepherd goes to the garage. They run back to the flag, and Kenny Wallace will hold on to that 3rd spot as they take the caution flag. The reason Shepherd has coasted in is the piece of debris up in turn 2 was his drive shaft. Here's Brock Yates.
Well, Mike, I'm down here in Dale Earnhardt's crew, and as I said earlier, there are some Winston Cup guys here. Hank Jones is one of the brain trusts that have been working with the Grand National crew, and he tells me that they took some fight out of the race car the last stop. They thought possibly they had a bad set of tires during that last round, and so he thinks that they're all ready to go. In fact, I think you may see Dale make a real charge right near the end of the go here. So let's watch Dale Earnhardt. In the meantime, let's go to Dale Jarrett.
Okay, we've got Morgan Shepherd, who has just rolled to a stop here. Morgan, it has to be awfully disappointing. You worked real hard all day, finally got back into that lead lap. What happened?
Well, first of all, we got a lap down and we made it back up, and I was run behind a 75 car, and he spun in front of me, and then I believe Butch Miller, I was okay, but Butch Miller ran in the back of me and hit me real hard and knocked me into the wall, and undoubtedly it bent my drive shaft because it started vibrating after that and it came out.
Awfully tough break. You were a little under the weather here earlier in the week during qualifying. How are you feeling for tomorrow's race now?
What do you mean I was a little under the weather? I'm still under the weather. I'm still not feeling real good, but I think I'll be okay. And it's just a shame that the Texas Peak car had to fall out so soon, and wasn't for our sponsors, Southern Virginia Ford dealers and all them. This wouldn't be possible.
Disappointing day for Morgan Shepherd, and Rockingham is certainly not a place that you want to be feeling anyone ill at all.
Well, this is yet another caution that Bobby Labonte and his dad Bob did not need. You'd like to keep that advantage the boy is earning. I didn't hear what you said. Let's go back up to Mike Joy. Harry Gant is coming in. Mike?
Harry Gant's on his way on to pit road. Morgan Shepherd had the flu last week at Richmond, and it still isn't over it. A lot of us aren't. We're going to go under the hood on Gant's car and see if, hopefully, that missing cylinder is just a spark plug wire that's fallen off, or they take the rocker cover off. I think this will be a quick repair. Now, Gant is now the last car on the lead lap, so he has nothing to lose here. Here's Glenn.
Okay, Chris Carrier has made some adjustments under the hood. When he gets through there, we'll find out if indeed they were able to solve that problem that exploded Harry Gant in the last few laps. The car certainly sounds like it's hitting on all six when it pulls away here, so hopefully he has got the problem corrected. We'll get word with Chris Carrier. Chris, were you able to solve it?
No, I really, we're just kind of speculating right now. He said it's just getting weaker and weaker. Could be a battery or something like that. Could be a valve spring. We're a little tight off the corner, too. We took some wedge out. I don't know. We're just trying to salvage the best way we can. Looks like we're going to have to wait for another day.
Behind the 23.
Okay, Chris Carrier giving a report there. They're really not sure what the problem is with Harry Gant.
Well, one problem is neither he nor anybody else can catch Bobby Labonte. Just have to go back under green to run the final 12 laps of the Goodwrench 200. Labonte on the inside in red. Takes the green flag, and this time Dale Jarrett is right with him. Kenny Wallace in third settles in behind the lap car of Jeff Burton. And Todd Bodine and Earnhardt. Gant now down on the apron, so that car not running well. He'll try to run the final lap. Todd Bodine, the white car now underneath the 99. 10 laps to go, this time by. Starter showing 10 to go to Bobby Labonte, chasing his first Busch Grand National win. And Todd Bodine up laying just a little bit of sheet metal on the Jeff Burton car as he and Earnhardt move past the 99. What a great day this is for young Todd Bodine's career, as last week was for Kenny Wallace. And up front, things have changed. Dale Jarrett used these caution flags to his advantage, cooled his tires off. The green flag came back out. He jumped underneath Bobby Labonte, beat him through turns 1 and 2, and got the lead. Dale Jarrett has finished 9th and 7th in the two races here last year. His best finished 3rd in 88. Here's his brother, Glenn.
Well, it's all smiles down here right now, Mike Joy. We've got John Irvin, the crew chief. John, do you feel like that extended caution period maybe cooled the tires and enabled him to move by Bobby?
I think so, Glenn, but it's not over yet. Little Labonte's pretty tough, and I'll let you know in about 5 or 6 laps.
Okay, they're all going to wait and see. Nobody wants to count a victory here yet.
He's opened up that advantage to 2 car lengths. Dale Jarrett has in 32. Bobby Labonte right with him. Then in 3rd, Kenny Wallace. In 4th, Todd Bodine, and in 5th, Dale Earnhardt. Those cars are on the lead lap. Labonte closing, cuts it to within a car length now. But time for him is running out. He may be saving up, Mike, for one last try. It looks like he wants to get underneath him coming off turn 4. I think it looks like he feels like that's his best chance to try to beat him through 3 and 4, get underneath him, and beat him down the front straightaway into turn 1. 6 laps to go. And it's for the win. Jarrett there bobbling just a little bit. And Labonte was there. He looks to the inside, but Jarrett has the horsepower. Dale has his chance to give it back to his crew for the mistake he made last year, and he looks pretty good right now. But hey, he's got his hands full with Bobby Labonte. That's John Irvin, Jarrett's crew chief, looking rather stoic, standing Junior Johnson-like at the wall. You see the black car, Kenny Wallace, just kind of stalking back to 3rd. If those guys make any mistakes, he's in a position where he can capitalize. It's a ways back to 4th place. And Todd Bodine, then Dale Earnhardt. 5 to go. And Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett will settle this one. Don't count out Kenny Wallace. He's had a great run both of the last 2 weeks. Right there in the middle of the corner. Labonte is stronger and he loses it. Labonte is around, lands the wall, drops the wheel,
Dale Jarrett takes the caution flag, so this thing may finish under the caution. Greg Tomato there in the Labonte pit, or rather in the Jarrett pit, Pontiac prep. And Bobby Labonte, who came so close to winning it all here. His dad on the radio, trying to talk his son home. Right between turns 1 and 2, Labonte was clearly stronger than Jarrett. Let's watch them once again. Looks like he just dropped the left front tire on the apron to try to get underneath Dale, and just pulled at the front of the car right around, and the back end went out towards the wall, and around he went. He didn't hit the wall very hard, but looks like when he came by our position that his right rear tire may be flat, so he really doesn't want to restart, I don't think, especially if he has a flat tire. Here's another look at it. Labonte right at that point was stronger than Jarrett, but the car just starts to get loose, and once it goes, it's gone. He put on a heck of a show, though, and he didn't hit the wall very hard, so he doesn't have a whole lot of damage, but he'll learn a lot from this race, and he'll get him a win before this year's over. Greg Fielden, our historian, reminds us last year when Jarrett spun from the lead with 4 laps to go, and this year Labonte loses his chance to win with 4 laps to go. Glenn?
John Irvin, you got to feel a little retribution. You lost one like this last year. Looks like you're going to get it back.
I hope so, Glenn, but it's not over to the fat lady's thing, man.
Well, I think the fat lady's just about ready to sing. We're only going to have a couple of laps left under green.
She's warming up, Glenn, but she hasn't hit the pitch pipe yet. We're going to get 1 lap to race. The white and green flag will come out together. 32 is Jarrett, 36 is Kenny Wallace. Then the 34 of Todd Bodine, and don't forget about that other black car, Earnhardt. Rocky.
Mike, I'm with Bob Labonte, is obviously disappointed. He did such a good job and then just made a little bit of a mistake. Race starts out and not badly damaged, but of course victory's gone.
Well, you know, that's result of the new pit crew rule here. We're racing out there on worn out tires.
Okay, we got to restart, Bob. We're sorry you're out. Back to you, Mike.
Third place changes hands. Earnhardt gets past the 34 car of Todd Bodine to bring them home. Victory, jubilation, and retribution. Here is Dale Jarrett winning the Goodwrench 200 by 1/4 of a second over Kenny Wallace, Dale Earnhardt, Todd Bodine, and Harry Gant. It was a heck of a show, and as we talked with 40 laps to go, everyone gave the race to Bobby Labonte and said, hey, that's the nice thing about this sport is anything can happen. You saw 3 or 4 late caution flags. It let Dale Jarrett cool his tires and make a run at Bobby Labonte. Bobby, in trying to get back by him, lost the car coming off turn 2. And Dale Jarrett gets his win back when he let go last year. 8 caution flags slow the average speed to 110.77 miles per hour. Not a record. We'll be back to the North Carolina Motor Speedway to meet the winner after this.
I love steak. I mean a big porterhouse. I like it very nicely medium. Rare. The sound is like...
Wait. It's not done.
Now.
I'm done.
Done. A1. It's how steak is done.
The family of country music stars would like to invite you to TNN's All-Star Salute to Country Music, honoring country music's best friend, Ralph Emery. Joint hosts Barbara Mandrell and Johnny Cash, with special guests Randy Travis, Ricky Skaggs, Tanya Tucker, Ricky Van Shelton, Glenn Campbell, Kathy Mazzea, and many more. It's an encore presentation. TNN's All-Star Salute to Country Music.
Thursday, 9 Eastern on TNN, the heart of country.
That's looking good. Thank you.
Well, Dale Jarrett here in Rockingham has chiseled off a piece of the old rock as he has won the Goodwrench 200, trying to get the helmet off. As Mike Joy said earlier, it was not in record time. It probably would have been had it not been for the last couple of yellow flags. And look at the grin on that young man's face. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I tell you, it's a tough race. Bobby Labonte was awfully strong there. I didn't really think that there was any way I could get him, but I got him on the restart. So it's unfortunate. I hate to see him spin out. He was trying awfully hard to get his win there, and he's a good competitor. He'll win a lot of races for us.
Did you see him in your mirror smoking and spinning?
No, not really. I was concentrating what was ahead of me. I had my hands full. This thing gotten awfully loose, and I was just trying my best to keep it on the bottom. Guy did a great job getting in and out of the pits, and the car just performed well. Butch Stevens and Billy Hess built this car. It's kind of a new configuration on the front, just front steer with strut rods. Something new the first time we've run it, so it's a good start for it.
I'll say it was. And your brother's working on our crew, and he says congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. He hadn't been around many of the times that I've won, but I appreciate it.
Okay, the man from North Carolina. Come on out here, Dale. There's a lot of people that want to congratulate you. And the money won here today is going to stay in North Carolina, Hickory to be exact, as Dale Jarrett and his Pontiac have pulled it off here at the Rock. Okay. As he said, this is a different configuration car, something they had never tried before, and usually in this kind of racing, they don't work the first time out. It certainly did here today. Let's go to Brock Yates.
Okay, Steve, I'm with Bobby Labonte. Obviously disappointed. A great race, Bobby. You're right up until the end, and then all of a sudden a little bobble takes you out.
Well, you know, that little bobble was my fault. You know, I was trying to pass the 32 car there, and he was running a smooth line just like I was. And I just got up underneath him and got my left side tires off on the flat and kept digging. I guess nobody said I wasn't worth nothing. You know, I could be exciting, and I guess I was, but in the wrong sense. You know, that's just the way it goes. You know, this Penrose Oldsville run good all day. We're just glad for the team because they stuck with us all day and we were there, but just missed it a little bit at the end. But oh well.
Well, what did Dad say? Well, he was pretty disappointed, but he was real proud of you all the way.
Yeah, he was. You know, I have to take my hat off to him because he's a tough man, and told me not to worry about it. We'll get him again. So I believe in him, and I guess we will.
The race car, you started, out of the hunt a little bit in the middle of the pack, but moved right up, and you had to feel good about the race car in the early stages.
Yeah, I did. You know, we got a couple of breaks on the restarts. That helped out, but the car was good. I knew it was good yesterday afternoon. Just didn't want to get too excited about it, but I knew after about 50 laps that we were going to be all right. Just racing.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Someday you eat the bear, other days the bear eats you.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we'll get him next time.
Okay, Bobby Labonte, who's got a great future in this sport. Now let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Standing by with one of the hardest chargers and best competitors in this sport, Harry Gant. Harry, you had a good run early on, but the car kind of went away from you in the end. What happened there?
Yeah, the Scobanny Buick, it just ran super. You know, we was conserving the tires, had a lot of power, and just sitting out there, just cooling it. And but then right there towards the last on the restart there, I guess I broke a valve spring or whooped a valve or something, and I lost about 1,000 RPM. And after that, I was just history then, just hanging on.
Well, you hung on and finished in the top 5. That's got to be pretty gratifying considering the way things wound up there.
Yeah, we're real pleased with the performance and everything. Just whatever went wrong there. I could have overwound it when I restarted that time, right after the 44. There at the end, I let him go by. I figured, well, I can step back here and save these tires a little bit, and then all of a sudden, it went bam. It wouldn't run. So we had a restart, and I was trying to I think I might have broke a valve in.
Well, I tell you what, it takes a real man to admit that he might have been the one that did that. Good luck tomorrow, Harry.
Harry Gant, as we have a look at the point standings. 6th career Busch Grand National victory. As we look at the rundown, for Dale Jarrett. He had 2 wins last season, and he picks up his 6th career win here today. Kenny Wallace, finishing 2nd, will move up in the Busch Series points to 3rd. Dale Earnhardt will hang on to the point lead with his 3rd place finish. Todd Bodine, career best, 4th today. Great run for young Todd. Harry Gant finishes up in 5th. Those cars on the lead lap. A little further back, Bobby Labonte credited with 6th. Ed Barrier gets 7th. Jeff Burton is 8th. Robert Presley is 9th. And outside pole sitter Jimmy Hensley comes home 10th. Tom Peck, then Tommy Houston, David Green, Joe Nemechek, and Tracy Leslie. Tommy Ellis, along with Cecil Eunice, Bobby Dotter, Rich Burgess, and Ed Fareed, round out the top 20. And I'm corrected, it's the 2nd best career finish for Todd Bodine. He had a 3rd in Dover last season, backs it up with a fine. A 4th place here today with that Clyde McLeod-led crew. Great Busch Grand National race here today, Sunday, live on TNN. The Winston Cuppers in TNN's inaugural presentation of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing Live, the Goodwrench 500. Airtime will be 12 noon on Sunday. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Now we have current Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt. Dale, one of those days where you just pedaled hard, just couldn't quite get back to the front.
Well, the car got a little loose there on that first run. We changed tires and got tight, so it went right the opposite. We had adjusted for the loose, and then it was too tight that last run. So we just worked with it. We got took some wedge out on that one caution. It really didn't help it. We just dodging and erasing them best we could do.
Well, there you have it from Dale Earnhardt. Do you think that the things you learned today are going to help you tomorrow considering this excessive tire wear?
Well, I think so, but you can't really figure these radials out. The track wears, and one set, you know, you might be a little tight because of the track and the rubber, and then the next set you might be a little loose. So we're going to give it all we got, and congratulations to Jarrett. You know, he beat himself last year in this race, and I beat him, and it's about his turn to win down here. And, you know, Kenny Wallace and Todd Bodine, them guys did good, too.
Okay, that's the word from Dale Earnhardt.
The Miller pit crew of the race, we've kind of voted around, and two votes up here in the booth go to Clyde McLeod and that Todd Bodine-led crew, so he'll get the Miller Pit Crew of the Race Award. A plaque presentation for today from the folks at Miller Beer. Our thanks to Brock Yates, Steve Evans, and Glenn Jarrett, who cover the action down on the pits today. For my broadcast colleague Phil Parsons, this is Mike Joy saying stay tuned Sunday for the Goodwrench 500. TNN Motorsports presentation of the Goodwrench 200 is brought to you by Haviland Motor Oil. Get the most out of your car.
This is TNN, the Nashville Network, the #1 source for country music, entertainment, and information.